Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. I know we're in uncertain times at the moment, but lockdown brings many advantages, one of which is that you have time to finally film some videos. So, as you can see here, we have more Star Trek adventures. Big shout out and a thanks to Modifius for sending these across to ourselves to do an unboxing. So, I'm always unbiased as you guys know, but full disclosure, we didn't pay for these bad boys, they were sent to us, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. The first thing we're going to do is look at the packaging. It's the same kind of packaging as it was on the Star Trek Next Generation Bridge Crew. Tells you what they are there, which is 32mm scale. Fantastic for the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game, for the little skirmish game that's in the rulebook. Also, you can use them for things like 7TV or any of your sci-fi, really. These are Klingons. Anybody who knows anything about my Star Trek loves knows I love two things: Ferengis and Klingons. These are obviously Klingons, not Ferengis. So I'm still pretty excited. So let's flip them across. Today is a good day to die. And as you can see, you get 10 highly detailed models. And if the previous ones are anything to go by, that is absolutely correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to bust this open and we're going to have a look at them. Straight in there. Look at that. So, here we have two separate bags worth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a black background so we can see the models better. Back in a second. So a slightly better YouTuber probably would have learned welcome back in Klingon. And you're probably shocked that I don't speak Klingon. I want to, but I don't. But yes, so welcome back guys. Here you can see, no expense spared, we've got a black background now. And these are the models. So as you can see, each of them come on their own individual sprue, so you're not going to have any problems lining up arms with bodies, which is fantastic. And the OCD in me is very happy to see that all of the bases match. If you saw my other Star Trek one, you'll know what I mean. I'm really finicky about things like that, and I don't mean to be, I just can't help myself. But yeah, so here you have it. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at them. No particular order, I'm just going to start grabbing and showing. So here we go here. Right, now, obviously it comes with a batleth, which is one-handed, which is pretty cool. Now this model has the batleth over its shoulder. There's your bases, so you can see 2017, that's not massively important, but yeah, so look at the detailing on that face. Now when they do say highly detailed miniatures, they're not kidding. These are really nice. And what I do notice is there's not as many imperfections as there was on the Bridge Crew one, which is good because that shows that I got an unlucky batch as opposed to it being a consistently bad resin. And any company, and anybody who says otherwise is a liar. Any company who uses resin, you will get the odd bad batch. Maybe it's a single model, maybe it's a full batch of models, but there are the occasions. So this is why we look at the wider body of work, and that's what we're doing today. So now again, another batleth. Now this one's held in two hands. I'm a big fan of this model. I love the detailing on the face. Look at that. So yeah, already, and not just because of my obvious Klingon bias, I will just stress that these are much nicer sculpts than the Bridge Crew. I suppose you've got the advantage that you're not trying to copy actors' likenesses. Now, I mean, if we looked at these in more detail, we could probably match them up to characters from Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, but I'm not going to do that. So you've got a big Klingon disruptor here. I think it's the disruptor. Oh, I'm going to get absolutely lamented in the comments. I'm going to get lambasted. I'm going to get hoodwinked. I'm just saying words now. Only half of those were actually relevant. But yeah, I think it's a Klingon disruptor, but I could be wrong. Oh, there you go. Look at the detail. Again, the faces on these are really good. Let's have a look at the next one. Look at that. I like this one. This is a really dynamic pose. Look at that face detail there. Tiny bit of moulding on the chin, which I'll need to scrape. But that's, again, anyone who's worked with any kind of resin, that's not that bad at all. So here we have. That's a nice one. So yeah, I'm kind of gushing over these. And I know I'm not being as objective as I was over the Federation ones, and that's because these are much better sculpts. I can't see any problems. Now, when I build them, I may find that there's still some gaps or things like that. But again, an experienced modeler shouldn't worry about these. And this is something I've actually been discussing quite a bit online, because a number of the different games we play, a lot of people have been complaining that the models are hard to build. Yes, a game needs to be accessible to new people, but not at the expense of losing the quality of the model. So yes, some models you buy from certain models companies may need to have a little bit of green stuff in. They may need to have a bit of filing and things like that. But that's only been an issue in the hobby very, very recently. Like 5 years ago, I never heard anyone whinging that they had to clip some plastic bits of moulding and stuff off sprues and things like that. So this is very new, and it's good that we're getting an influx of new hobbyists. That's exactly what our hobby wants and needs, because the more people buy in, the more models we're going to get. But at the same time, it always used to be a case of you'd get better, not the models would dumb themselves down. So I don't mind if I have to do a bit of filing or filling and things like that. I always have done, since I started collecting back in the many, many moons ago. But yeah, rant over now, because look at that Klingon. These are really, really nice sculpts. As said, I know I've said it multiple times, but there's a good mix of male and female, which is good, because if you're a fan of Next Generation, Deep Space Nine as well, you'll know that the Klingons have both male and female on their ships quite often. Some of the best villains in Star Trek Next Gen were female. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm not name dropping. They don't deserve it. But yeah, look at that. I love this one. Now, I would assume this is like this is your captain, your general, why can I not remember what Klingon's called a war chief leader guy? Again, yous are going to kill me in the comments with this one. Vince is probably screaming at the video already. But yeah, by the time I built them, and I won't have Googled them, honest, I'll remember. But yeah. And there we have the final one. So what I'm going to do with these, as I always do with this type of unboxing, is I'm going to go away and build these. So when I come back, I'll be able to tell you whether the models are good, whether they're bad to put together, whether there's any problems. I know with some of the next gen ones, the feet didn't line up with holes on the bases all that well, but with it being resin, it wasn't that hard to warm them slightly and move them into position. I'll let you guys know if there's any similar issues with that. So I'll get these built. We'll come back and I'll let you know what I think of them, and we can have a look at the finished models so you can see. And you'll also see whether I've had to fill any gaps or anything like that in, because I'll tend to do those before I do the reveal video. But yeah, back in a second, guys. So here we have it, guys. There are some models assembled. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what do you think of them, Kev? You might not be thinking that, actually. Well, I think they're rather spiffing. You have two of them that are the same, which is cool. So what I did was I split my models into 2 groups of 5, which are like little away missions. And I'm going to pop them in here. We're using the light box, because the black of my soul, the black of the box. Yeah, so that's the thing. So these are your first 5. They're led by this awesome lady here. They're absolutely gorgeous. They really, really are. And this is the model you get 2 of. So yeah, first thing to go through is putting them together. Not really a chore at all. They went together really well. All the legs fit in the correct holes, no need for stretching or anything like that. I have just noticed there's a tiny little bit I still need to scrape off back up there, but most of the little bits of flash and stuff came off when I washed them, because they're resin. You always wash resin models, as you guys know. But yeah, in terms of it, there's a little bit of gaps that need filling, but it's liquid green stuff style, not full green stuff, so it's not the end of the world. Tiny little gaps I can totally get away with. Look how gorgeous these models are. They're absolutely beautiful. I can't rave over them enough. I really can't. So let's get these guys out of the way and get the next 5 in, and then I'll show you a group shot of all 10. Now, in terms of it, I shall put a link down below so you can have a look at these on Modiphius's website. I know a couple of other sites online sell them. I think Firestorm do in the UK. And of course, wherever you are in the country, you'll be able to, wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to find some people from your country who stock them. So yeah, so here's these 5 here. Again, I would class him as your captain and or commander, and then you've got these 5. Yeah, I don't find these 5 as good, well, except who's the same. But no, I split them into 2 groups just so they'd fit better on the screen like so, but also because I put the ones I liked in one group, and then I put the ones I liked slightly less, but still loved in the second group. And this is the second group, so these are the ones I like the least. There's a couple of arms that were a bit of a pain to go together because it's the typical thing, and it's a typical thing I hate with spears or guns or anything like that, where you've got to put 2 arms onto a body at the same time. Now, I can thankfully say this isn't Games Workshop-esque, and you're not trying to stick a weapon onto a left arm, then a right arm, then all of them onto the body all at once. This is the weapon with some arms attached to it, plugs into the body. It's not that hard at all. So what I'm going to do is a quick pause, and then I'm going to get all 10 in there so you can see what all the models look like together. So here we have all 10 on the screen. Now, the one thing to note about this is it's harder to do a video, if I'm honest, when the models are really, really good. I can nitpick till my heart's content on models with bad sculpts, or they've got a lot of flash, or they were a nightmare to put together. But as you saw from the sprues, in fact, all of these bar, I think, 2 models, with 3 parts: your base, your body, and your weapon. The only ones that differ is 2 of the models have a left arm and a right arm. In fact, some of them, the left arm sculpted on the body anyway. But yeah, so 8 of the 10 models are 3-part. 2 of the models are 4-part. They all go together really nicely. If I was going to have one criticism, it's because of the resin and because the bases are attached to a sprue. You can see down here that it leaves these little marks, which I'm going to have to fill in with green stuff. Again, it's not the end of the world. It really is not. And what you could do if you were so inclined and not as lazy as me is you could cut slightly less, like where they're attached to the sprue. You could cut a bit of the sprue off and then you could file that down and you wouldn't have that problem, but I think it's going to be quicker to green stuff anyway. How do they compare to the bridge crew? Well, they went together better for a start. Less green stuffing, much nicer sculpts. And again, I don't know if I put that down to maybe I got a slightly less awesome set with the originals. With the bridge crew. Or they're just not as detailed as these guys. I'm not sure. But this is a much nicer set. Next question, I guess, is would I get more? Yes, I absolutely would. Obviously, these and the bridge crew were sent to us. That's fantastic. Would I buy them myself? I absolutely would. I said previously I'd buy the bridge crew anyway because I love those characters. I would buy these A, because I love Klingons, and B, because they're fantastic sculpts. And as I said, they can be used in multiple different games. We've got a review coming up shortly, however, of the Star Trek Adventures RPG. And we're also going to start covering off some of Modiphius's other RPGs. Now, I think I mentioned it in the last Star Trek video, and then lockdown happened, and obviously everything is everything. So they are coming very, very shortly. Vince is working tirelessly on them. He just wants to get them right. Vince's main problem with the Star Trek one is keeping it under an hour long because he's so passionate about the game and there's so much to go through on it. It may end up being a 2-parter because it is that big and there's so much to cover and there's so many expansions, or it might be that he just covers the main book and then covers the expansions in a separate video. Who knows? They are coming though. But yes. So now, when it comes to Modiphius, I've got some Fallout models. I was very impressed with most of those. Found that some of the weapons on the plastic ones were a bit bendy. That's fine. They're thin. They're more realistic scale. That happens. I've now got 2 of the Star Trek sets and I absolutely love them. I'm super looking forward to Elder Scrolls coming out. I'm a massive Elder Scroll fan, and although my particular favourite one is Morrowind, it's not Skyrim. Skyrim's probably the one I've played the most. I would say it's definitely the one I've played the most because I own it on the PC, and I think every console it's been released for, including the Switch. Yeah, technically I have. I no longer own the PS3 version, but that was because it got left when I moved from Yorkshire area up to the northeast. But I still have it on the Xbox 360. I still have it on the PC. Still have it on the PS4. Oh no, I don't have it on the Xbox One, but I do have it on the Switch. So yeah, it's a game I'm pretty into. And for the Elder Scroll game to be based off that for the first one, that does excite me. I very much like Norse mythology and things like that as well, and those models would work perfectly in any of the Norse mythology-esque games we play. Plus, eventually I'm going to have Khajiit. That's all I'm saying. I have coins. Hopefully the Khajiit have wares, and everybody will be happy. But anyway, guys, check Modiphius' site out. I'll, of course, link it down below. I'll also, if Firestorm still have this particular set up on their site, I will link you to that as well, so you can check it out there if you're based in the UK. But yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe, share with your Trekkie and or Trekker friends, because I don't want to anger either. I class myself as a Trekkie, but it's apparently, yeah, you guys know. But yeah, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that social media stuff. We have an Instagram, we have a Twitter. Mainly on Twitter, we just share non-wargaming stuff, actually. Usually stuff from really good podcasts and stuff I listen to, or we listen to. But yeah, pray the dice gods, hope they smile upon you, and live long and prosper. Take care, guys. Bye.